Wow, that's a good question, Vince. And before I even kind of go there, I want you guys to know, Rob, Derek, Max, Justin, Vince, what's happening right now. I can imagine being the people that's on this call, because when I was coming through, none of this stuff was out there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when you get to the other side, you see what people that's going to travel down the same tunnel need. And I want you to know that I'm grateful for this moment, because I know how beneficial it's going to be for somebody who's really listening in, taking notes, and saying, you know what, this right here is going to push me to the next level. So shout out to y'all for doing this. Your question, Vince, I got to say that you asked the best person for that. And that ain't for me to toot my own horn, but I had many mental battles on my way, and I had to learn how to fight them spiritually. I am a believer. I'm a follower of Christ. So I had to learn all of the belief scriptures in the Bible and commit them to memory to stop all my self-doubt and my bad self-talk. When you sell door to door, you start to think about, are there sales out there? Or, because you're going out to a place with some paperwork and a pen and pad, no money. And your job is to get people that don't even know that you coming to buy your product or service that you got on a day-to-day basis. And you got to make sales consistently. And, so every day I had to fill myself up with a sense of belief. And you got to do that first before you think about charging yourself up to make money. I think the hardest thing is to believe. Making money is easy. I used to have to tell myself every day that all things are possible to him that believeth. And I would say it 100 times in the morning and 100 times before I went to sleep at night. So if somebody asks me, am I a believer? They can't talk me out of it. Nobody can talk me out of something that I believe in because of those moments. And I did that for 5 years straight every day.
Wow.
When I was in the field, I had this routine that I would say the prayer Jabez every day, and I would say I could do all things through Christ which strengthens me 10 times before I knocked on the door every day. And that would give me this sense of belief and confidence that I'm coming to somebody's doorstep and I'm going to take their doorstep and make it my stage, and they're going to buy from me right then and there every day. And that's how I learned how to sell. And I wasn't a good salesperson. And you got to remember that I used to stutter. So I had to believe myself out of stuttering to be successful, So I have learned, Vince, that your voice is your sword to your doubting and negative thoughts. The only thing that talk us out of our dreams is a thought that we didn't put in there. That's it.
That's good, man.
Yeah. And so anytime when I would get those things into my mind that contradicted the direction that I knew I was going in, I would say those things over and over again until it drowned it out. And that's how I learned how to sell. When Rob was talking about Brian Tracy, now y'all talking to somebody who cheated their way through elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. Somebody that read his first book at 25 years old, and I had to follow along on YouTube to read Who Moved My Cheese, which is my first book. So I learned YouTube University taught me how to read and comprehend books. So when I got into this program, this was my first shot to be successful. So sometimes people see an opportunity as, listen, it's too good to be true, or it don't work out. No, man, if your belief can match the opportunity, it'll happen. It always will. And so when I would start selling every day and saying these things, I started to reap results. Now, when it came to making millions, I had read this thing from Napoleon Hill, and I started saying that every day. My first time making $1 million was when I was 29 years old. And from the time I was 27 years old to the time that it happened, I would say it every day and every night. I would say, by the first day of January 2021 or whatever year it was, I would have earned $1 million, which would come to me in various amounts from time to time. In return for this money, I would get the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity of service in the capacity of the CEO of Innovation Station. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now away and transferred to me at the time and in the purpose and in the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. And I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it was received. And I will say it 100 times in the morning and 100 times before I go to sleep at night. And I'm telling y'all, when I would meet somebody, I was vibrating. So when somebody got in front of me that was supposed to buy from me, it wasn't nothing they could do to get me off their porch. If I would have came to Justin, Vince, Max, any one of y'all house, I guarantee you, even if you didn't need it, you was buying it. Because I put so much time into psyching myself out that I was a winner because I came from a losing environment. That's what we got to do. Like sometimes, we'll say, well, we didn't have this, or I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have this person. Sometimes, man, you just got to take the pages off the book and put them in your heart and let people that you don't even know be your mentor. And I used to say what they said over and over again until it materialized in my life. And I've seen it on many occasions, not just in my life, also on some people that I have guided to do the same thing.